Hello everyone, welcome to an old review of Transformers, the first live-action movie of 2007, Deluxe Class Barricade. And here he is, looking very much like a first movie type of figure. Because I'm looking here at the size comparisons and I can most certainly see improvements upon you, even though technically there's only one Barricade for size comparison. But I will grab you and pull you in close so we can look at the details of Barricade. I very much like Barricade as a character, especially playing as him in the live-action movie video game. So his head is very much clenched in here. Also, if there's dust on here, I apologize. I tried to clean it off, but not all of it wants to come off. But overall, he has a nice looking head sculpt here. He also has just these big car titties. He's got the nice long looking arms, which actually have a gimmick, but we'll get to that later. We got the nice little bits of purple here on the arms. Kind of weird, kind of random. And then we got some purple here and also little bits of purple in here. Very nice looking. And then these are his legs. Very nice looking once again. And then you got the nice looking feet. However, the ball joint, sadly enough, in his feet, in this foot, is like very loose. So because I've owned this figure for years, so he likes to fall forward a lot because of this specific foot, which is kind of annoying. Also, he has light piping back here. As you can see, he has some light piping action as well. I haven't handled a figure with light piping in a very long time, so I don't like this thing because it doesn't want to stand anymore. He stands, do not touch him anymore. Oh my lord. Anyway, but overall I think he looks really good. No, I have to actually touch him. However, Barricade, sadly enough, does not come with a weapon, which would be the next part. So we're just going to push you a little bit more backwards so we can look at your little friend, your actual accessory, Frenzy, who actually, as you can see, here we go. Very nice looking Frenzy. Overall, the nice head, eyes here, the red dotted eyes. Unpainted. He actually does come with a stand, which some other figures don't want to, like the Dark of the Moon human figures. They don't come with a stand under there, so they are very difficult to stand. This guy is not an easy thing either, because the stand is kind of weird because of the fact that he's supposed to go inside of his chest, but we'll show that off into vehicle mode. We're not doing that in robot mode. So overall, he looks pretty good. I very much like this little Frenzy figure. I kind of wish the Studio series would give us a Frenzy figure, but sadly enough, we don't get that. So this is what he looks like with his little guy. So let's start off with articulation for the Frenzy guy. His arms can do a full rotation. His legs can go like this. He can go like this. Oh yeah, Frenzy's dancing. Boogie, baby. And then also his head can move all the way back for transformation purposes as well. A lot of this stuff is mainly for transformation purposes outside of really like the arms. But I like this little Frenzy figure. Just wish we got another one for Studio Series. So let's get them out of the way and get into the Barricade articulation. So his head cannot really do anything because of the fact that his head is just stuck in here. I'm trying to lift it up, but it doesn't really work. Let's just open up his chest a little bit. And let's see if we have actual... Oh no, the panel actually does not really have rotation at all. It's literally just on a panel. Like he doesn't have rotation in that. But his head can do anything, sadly enough. Outside of look really cool. His arms can do a full rotation. They can also go in and out, and he can slap himself with his wheel. He can do an elbow bend, and also, oh, I forgot to show that off. Let's do that right now before we continue on with the articulation. There's a little lever up here. Yeah, you can see that. There you go. If you pull that one backwards, there you go. He has this on only this arm, and this is kind of to invoke the weapon that he has in the movie, so that's nice. So he can do that. He also has an elbow bend, and then his hand is actually pretty interesting because the car completely splits up to form the fingers. So you got a couple of fingers in here. He has a thumb that he can rotate. You can kind of like move this around as well. I like how this splits up to form the hand. I think that was actually pretty creative. And no waist rotation, sadly enough. So for leg articulation, the legs are a bit weird because they kind of have this whole coming together thing. So they can shift down, so just push them back up. So the legs can go forward about that far, and if you get the back piece here out of the way, you can get all the way back action as well. You get some in and out on the leg as well. A rotation down here and a knee bend up there. And also you get the feet can move all the way around kind of because of the ball joint. So you got an up and down and a little bit of side to side. Technically ankle tilt, but not really much though. So, but a little bit. We're gonna count the little bits that could matter, right? So let's get him back into position. So we can move straight into size comparison if he actually wants to stand. Hopefully he does. It seems like he actually does want to stand. And then he doesn't anymore. So starting off with size comparison, here he is with his Studio Series self. Very nice looking. Now obviously we can see where the improvements are, and because of the fact that this Barricade likes to fall over, which in the beginning he actually didn't want to do. He only started doing it recently because, you know, ball joints became looser. And with recently, I mean like, I don't know, like 7 years ago or something like that, but still recently compared to when he came out, which was like 20 years ago. So almost in 2 years it will be 20 years ago, but they look very nice together. You can obviously see where in these past couple of years they have made improvements compared to original Barricade and actually Studio Series Barricade. So let's move you out of the way and let's bring in the movie figures that I have, which will also kind of be combined with the Studio Series variations of the figures. So here we have, let me put you backwards. Here we got Barricade with first movie leader class Megatron, Studio Series Blackout and Brawl and Bone Crusher, and first movie Voyager class Starscream. So a couple of first movie figures. The problem is I did not want to grab my first movie Bone Crusher off the shelf, because of the fact that that one is fused together. If you watch that review, or potentially the Bone Crusher review that I did as well last year, you will be able to see that that happened. But in vehicle mode, sadly enough, one wheel won't be able to go in anymore because of the fact that I glued that together on accident. So here's the Studio Series version. But outside of that, for Brawl and Blackout, I actually don't have a first movie variation. And since I have the Studio Series versions, I don't want them anyway. So let's move them out of the way so we can get into that final size comparison. I forgot to put Frenzy in here with the size comparison. So here we have him with Studio Series Shockwave and Soundwave, as I do with these movie Decepticon figures. Very nice looking. So let's get everyone out of here. Let's pull you in closer here so we can get into that. Also lower the camera a bit. Transformation. So let's transform Barricade, shall we? So what we want to do first is you want to make sure that this is straight and the thumb is fully folded into the back here, like so. Do the same thing on the other side, so extend this up. Also, ratchet. I didn't notice that they were ratcheted. Oh, this one isn't ratcheted. It's just this one. Oh, I didn't know that. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate this piece up here around, like so, to kind of get that all lined. Then fold these window pieces backwards and get them aligned with the back here. Split the front open. Push the head back in, close this up all the way, like so. Get this under here, and there you go. We are basically almost done with the figure. Then what you want to do is you want to take these feet and just push this little thing sticking out in. So just push that in, rotate this around like so, rotate this up, and rotate it around to kind of line this up. We'll mess with this in a minute as well in order to kind of get it fully aligned with everything. And then untap this piece from in here, rotate it all the way around, which is kind of difficult to show off because everything kind of gets in the way. But you basically want it to look like this, and then rotate it up like so. Then we'll mess with this a little bit in order to kind of get everything here. You want to tab the legs together, just get these two aligned, and then tab them together back here if they want to align at all, which would be nice if they did. Then with the legs, what you want to do is you want to extend the legs fully, which will then allow you to tab these legs together if you can, which can sometimes be a bit difficult because of, you know, for me, how old this figure is. But then you want to tab the legs here together, and this will create one big tab that is going to go into the back side of there. So you want to rotate this up like so, and also keep this rotate it up, and then tab it into the back side right there. Then with the arms, what you want to do is straighten them out, obviously, and you want to take this little thummy here that goes in there. So you basically want to take this, push this backwards, get it under there, rotate this in as well, keep everything straight as it should be, And then there is a tab sticking out from in here that will go into the slot in there and on the other side as well. I can show it off. There you go. And then also this hook wants to go under there. So you basically just want to take this all and then do the same thing on the other side. So just rotate this in and then tab it in on the back side here as well. Oh, what an annoying transformation when everything starts to activate. But finally, here we have Barricade in his car mode. So here we have first movie Barricade in his police car mode. And my goodness, is it a nice looking police car. I was always a big fan of this design. In the first live action Transformers video game, where I played as him, because I don't think he was playable in the Revenge of the Fallen. I know for a fact that he wasn't in Dark of the Moon video game. Sadly enough, this design was only relegated to the game, to probably the worst out of the video games from the live action movies. I really wish you were in Dark of the Moon. But let's take a look here at the close up on the beautiful car. So we got the nice light bars up here, 643 right here, the police right here on the back. You got the nice police here on the side. You got the purple here with the Decepticon badge and police. You got to punish and enslave right there on the side. You got the nice red tail lights and Saline. I don't know who Saline is, but someone's calling you. And also we got, is this Rust? Whatever. And you still have 643 here at the front. You got also orange here for the turning lights, which is very surprising as well. A very nice looking car. And also you got the vents here at the front as well. Very, very nice looking. Now then, with the accessories, we have Frenzy, who can actually transform and get inside of Barricade. So what you want to do is you want to straighten out the arms here. You want to fold the head backwards and all the way in. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate this around and clip it over there. Open up Barricade's front part here. Then I think this is supposed to be at the bottom. You just want to or maybe it's at the top. Let's try either way. Let's see which one works. Ah, it's supposed to be like this. That black part is supposed to be at the top. And then you can close it up. And here we have Frenzy inside of Barricade. Very, very nice looking. I like how this integrates with him, because obviously he can't sit inside of the car. So to get inside of Barricade, they have this little opening here. And I also like how it kind of slides in when you push in the grill. And like it pulls out when you pull out the grill. I like that. It also makes it easier to just like grab it and pull it out, instead of having to go in there and fetch for it. I love this thing. I really like this figure, even though the feet ball joints are loose. And also we already have technically the Masterpiece one, but also the Studio Series one, which kind of makes this thing obsolete. But I still very much like this thing. But that's how he interacts. So let's move straight into size comparison. Starting off here, we got Barricade with Barricade. Oh my god, it's like his little brother came to town. But they look very, very nice together. I think I am actually a big fan of how these two look together. I mean, this one obviously looks a bit better than this one. But also, then this one has things like, you know, like the turning light being orange here. This one doesn't have that. But then also this one has like the 911 here on the back, which this one doesn't have. I like the way that these two look different, but still are the same. And obviously this thing is probably also based off of concept art, unlike this figure. So let's get him out of here and let's get the gang in here. So here we have Barricade with one of each of the members of the first live action Transformers movie. And we can also grab Scorponok in here and just put him in here as well. I actually had Scorponok on hand while I was transforming him, so there you go. Look at how nice they all look together. Obviously, some of these are different than others, you know, this side and this. I actually like, wow, this was unintentional. I actually put first movie and Studio Series, like separated the two of them. That was entirely unintentional, but I love the way that they look together. Sadly enough, I do not have, I mean, I do have first movie Bone Crusher, but I don't want to grab that one. But I don't have Brawl or Blackout to really compare, but to be honest, these guys work as well. So let's get these guys out of here so we can get to that final size comparison. So let's pull in Barricade a little bit more towards the center, and let's get into the reverse transformation. So let's get Barricade back to his robot mode. So what you want to start off with is you want to come in here and untap the arms from the back here. Simple as that. And also undo it here from the front. Get this out from under there. Rotate these arms. Oh, that's not what you were supposed to do. forward and rotate them around. Rotate the arm forward and rotate it around to kind of get that out of the way. Also, you can already rotate these pieces around. That way, you're done with it. And then rotate this down and undo it from itself and rotate it around as well. We're not going to tab it in yet. Undo the feet, split the legs, get the legs all situated in position, and then wait for further instructions. Also, I forgot, you can get, actually, technically you can keep Frenzy. We're gonna keep Frenzy in. Who cares? Also, then you can rotate these pieces out, fold this backwards, because we need to get access to that head that's in there. Rotate these two pieces to the side. Come on, there you go. Then fold out the head, and then as the head is folded out, you want to also close these two back up, because that kind of locks the head into place, like so. Then what you want to do, you got two slots right here on the side and one big one in the middle. These two are going to go on the two on the side. So you just want to take it and just kind of tab it in. It's not the best connection in the world, but it's not the worst one. Then you want to undo the thumb and undo this piece as well. Do the same thing on the other side. Undo the thumb, undo this piece. And then also you can get these feet out like so. And here we basically have Barricade back into his robotic mode. Once I can get this bad boy standing. There you go, this Barricade in his robotic mode before he falls over. I'm not touching him after that last segment, no. So, what do I think of this guy? I think he's a fun guy overall. I mean, yes, his feet are now way too loose after years of owning him. Also, you were supposed to fold out these spike pieces here down on his feet. But I don't want to touch him and have to spend another 15 years trying to get him to stand. So I mentioned it so that you guys can do it. Now then, I think he's a fun guy. If you can find him for like 10 bucks, I would say pick him up. You know, he's a fun guy. But if you want a definitive Barricade on your shelf, there are two other options, technically more, that are way better. Starting off, you have the Dark of the Moon Deluxe class figure that is already way better than this thing. You also have the Studio Series figure, which is also way better than this thing. And if you really, if you are rich, you can also go for the Masterpiece figure, which is also better than this figure. However, if you just want to have a nice Barricade and you can find this one for very cheap, then I would say, yeah, pick him up. He's a fun guy. You can do fun things with him. He's just a fun guy. And also, this is the only way you can get your hands on Frenzy. However, sadly enough, for now, Frenzy's going to be trapped inside of this Barricade until further notice. Because I don't want to get him out. I don't want to touch this Barricade. He is in here. But, yeah, I will say, if you can find it for cheap, he is recommended. But that has been my review of Transformers, the movie 2007 Deluxe Class Barricade. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!